Hello, everybody. Today, I'm very, very excited about today's session. I woke up this morning and I realized, well, I mean, I knew, but I realized that today is the new moon in Sagittarius. Now, as I said in my previous video, I'm very new at all of this stuff still, and I'm really just learning and trying to learn about all the things that bring me comfort, I guess, and to share those things with you guys. So I definitely, go along the moon cycle in my life. I think we all do in some way or another. Um, and the new moon has sort of a certain meanings, right? So there's a certain energy that the new moon carries, and it's about letting go of things that are no longer serving us. It's about an end of a cycle. So the new moon symbolizes the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. And it's always nice with a new moon to do some rituals. I mean, look, I do rituals all the time for any cycle, any time of the moon. But with the new moon, it's particularly nice to tap into that energy, to let go of the things that don't serve us anymore, and to welcome in the things that we want in our life and the things that we want more of. So I thought that today we'd do a little bit of some. I'd show you guys some of the rituals that I do. It's nothing extraordinary. It's nothing hectic. If anyone, is a bit worried about what they're about to see, it's really nothing like that. It's more like just quietening the mind, getting into a meditative space, tapping into my intuition, and trying to listen to my spirit guides. Because at the end of the day, everything that I do here is trying to get me closer to my higher self. And not talking to, but being in conversation with source, with my spirit guides, is going to guide me there. So on the table today, I have a few of my favorite things, and I want to actually tell you guys a story about a few of these things. So this is my paper bowl. You can see there's quite a lot of ash and things inside there already. A ritual that I do using the ash of my paper that I burn when I cleanse. I use it for we call it a spiritual shower or a cleansing shower. I don't have a bath, or I would use a bath. But basically, I would burn pepper in my space and cleanse my aura. And then I would go and shower, and I would use the ash from the pepper mixed with sea salt for cleansing. And then I would literally rub it on all of my chakras while I'm in the shower. So, the crown, the third eye, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra. And so I will rub the salt and the ash in those places. And while I'm doing that, I'm setting intentions, right? So I'm saying I want to let go of, things that close up my throat when I'm trying to talk, and release that kind of thing. So it's actually for me, it's quite nice because it's symbolic in terms of, you're putting this cleansing potion, I don't know what you want to call it whatever, on your chakras, and then rinsing it off and watching it flow down the drain. For me, that's quite powerful. So that's what I do with cleansing and the spiritual showers. I mean, look, there's a lot more to it. I take a lot of deep breaths. I meditate beforehand. And at some stage, I will share with you guys a little bit more about what that is for me. But I cleanse my body and my physical body every day with pepper. Every morning when I wake up, I'll light incense, I burn pepper, and I cleanse myself and my space. Just to let go also of, the previous day's things that was sitting in your space. So that's one of the things that's here. I'm very excited about. And this is a bowl that my friend gave me, which I love. And then I've got my tarot deck. Also, one of the rituals that I do every week, preferably on a Monday, sometimes on a Sunday, depends on what I'm doing. But I like to do a tarot reading. Now, there's a tarot reader that I follow, two of them that I love, and I'll put the links to their pages in the comment section or whatever. And so I either do a spread for myself, which is nice, but sometimes when I really want like an in-depth spread, then I watch these YouTube channels. And so I have my tarot deck. Now, this is an interesting story that I like to tell people, because I feel like this tarot deck came to me completely by divine intervention. There's no other nothing. If anyone's ever been to Observatory, there's a shop there that sells antiques and just like crap. You know, one of those shops where you go in and you can just like literally find all this old stuff. There's everything. They sell everything, everything old and I guess vintage, but like furniture, pots, nightstands, briefcases, anything, literally anything, books, LPs, records, stuff like that. And I went in there and I was consciously looking for a tarot deck, right? Now, these things are very expensive. This was quite a while back and I wasn't having a lot of money. I mean, I still don't have a lot of money, don't get me wrong. And I went into this shop thinking, you know what? And I was browsing, I wasn't even thinking about the tarot. And then all of a sudden, I was like, these people really have everything in this shop. Maybe I should ask the lady behind the counter if there's a tarot deck that she can think of in this Musa shop with all this stuff. And she was like, you know what? And she went right to the back of the shop, scratched behind like some cabinet in the drawer, at the back of the drawer, it was the wildest thing. And she pulled out this perfect deck of tarot that doesn't have one card missing. It was still in the box and it still had the pamphlet. And of course, this deck was meant to be mine. So that's a pretty cool story. So I pulled 2 cards already. I pulled the King of Wands for today, and the Knight of Wands. Now, the combination of the two, I'm not quite sure yet. We'll get to that later on. But yeah, these are the 2 cards that I pulled from the deck. This is a heartstone that a friend of mine brought from Uganda. I think when I'm doing my rituals and I'm doing my things, I like to have things around me that are meaningful. Yeah, things that bring me the right kind of energy that I'm trying to call in. So this is a friend of mine did that. This is my love stone that I carry everywhere with me. It's looking a bit rough because I was burning some paper on it and around it, and but this is my love stone. It's a rose quartz. This shell over here I put here because one of the intentions that I set for 2020 is I want to travel, and this shell comes from a small island off of Bali called Nusa Penida, where I went last year. And it was it was the best holiday of my life, I think. It was beautiful, it was amazing, it was spiritual. And I want more of that kind of travel. I've never been the kind of person that does party traveling. I want to see the culture, I want to see the people, I want to experience things, be in nature in these places. Yeah, so that's a symbol for my travels. The cloth that you're looking at also is from Bali that I bought there. I was meaning to make it into a dress. That was when I bought it. I was meaning to make it into a dress, but it serves better as a cloth for my altar. So, and then this stone I love very much and has a lot of value to me. And I know it just looks like a rock, and it is just a rock from Newlands Forest. But the reason that it means a lot to me is because one of my closest friends and someone that I would say is a soulmate, definitely a soulmate. We are on a spiritual path together, and it's been an incredible journey sharing it with someone that I love very much. So she and I went hiking at Newlands Forest one day, and funnily enough, she told me that was the first time she had ever been hiking. And for me, it was quite beautiful to share that with her because I love hiking. Like, I love being in the mountain. It is so spiritual. It's so pure, and it makes me so happy. And so sharing that experience with her was really beautiful. She actually took the stone, and I think for herself, but left it at my house, and so the universe obviously wanted me to have it. But it's beautiful and it's special, and it means a lot to me. Yeah, so those are my things. I mean, here's my cactus also I got from a very good friend of mine. And those are the little symbols that I have around me that I'm going to use for this ritual. So one of the things that we have to do, and that I do when I start my ritual, is to cleanse the space and to cleanse myself. Now, I buy my pepo this Rasta guy that in Woodstock somewhere. But I also get medicine from him, like I get everything that I need from him. Sometimes when I have a cold, um, I don't like, I mean, I take medicine because, we need to sometimes, like tradition, like a chemical, like medicine from, pharmaceuticals and whatnot. But I like to take herbal medicine as well. So I get stuff from him for like, getting rid of catarrh or like he gave me some stuff that I must make a soup with, a tea with, and I made this tea and drank it every day. And it really does help. The one had like ginger root and some piece of bark from a tree. I don't know the names of these things, but I trust that, that he's giving me something that will work. So what I generally do with the pepper is I would put it all around my aura, and everywhere, including underneath your feet. Um, I'm, I did that this morning, so this is just an example of how I do it. And make sure that you cover every part of you and do it all around the room. So I like to go around the room into the corners of the space and make sure that your place is ventilated because you want all the bad energy. So then people will pick up the bad energy and you want it to have a place to go. So open the doors, open the windows, yeah, get some ventilation up in there. And I like to keep this burning while we're busy. Okay, oops, got some ash there. Don't like to waste it. Okay, right. So after we've cleansed the space and we've made sure that, we release all of the negative energy out of the space, I like to also just take a few sips of water in between as a cleansing. And what we do then is we've cleaned the outside space. We need to now inwardly. So we meditate, and for about 10 minutes, what I'll do is I'll put a link in the bio to some of the meditations that I use. But it's also okay to just sit quietly, take a few deep breaths in and release. I like to visualize the cleansing breath going in and going into every cell in my body. And I like to visualize the negative and the old coming out with the out breath. For me, that visualization really does help. And I feel like meditating for 10 minutes and doing those deep intentional breaths will definitely cleanse that inner space and help you to start this process and to start this ritual. So maybe if you are going along in terms of, how we're doing this today, you might want to pause, take a few deep breaths, do a meditation so that we can start. So I'm going to pause and do a small meditation. I'll put the link in the bottom of the section and I'll be back.